Welcome back to the Sloan Sells Homes Open House. I am Michelle Sloan. I'm your local residential realtor and broker at Remax Time. Okay, it's not so cold outside. Thank goodness. The weather has warmed up just a little bit. We've seen a lot of rain, a lot of gray skies. Are you sick of the gray skies? Because I know I am. We're all feeling just a little bit depressed right now. So let's do whatever we can to keep ourselves up. If that's even possible. But we want to stay warm and safe over the winter months. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to be talking about home winter maintenance basics. And again, I want you to stay warm and safe this winter season. Certainly it's a little bit warmer now. We have a lot of rain. If you have water in your basement because we've had so much rain, now's the time to call some professionals. Figure out where that water is coming from and, start the process of getting it fixed. Because even if it only happens once in a while, when it comes time for you to sell your home, you absolutely will have to disclose that you've had water in your lower level. And that's something that we don't like to talk about. And it might scare some buyers away. So you're like, Michelle, I don't want to talk about that. Well, you have to. Legally, as a homeowner, when you sell your home, you absolutely have to disclose the fact that you have any material defects that cannot be seen by the naked eye. So when I walk through your home with a buyer and I can see water stains on the ceiling, I can tell there's been water in your home at some point. Now that water stain on your ceiling, it might be, it could be 5 years old, it could be 10 years old, it could be brand new. Whatever the case may be, you need to disclose the fact that you've had water. Now maybe that water on the ceiling or the remnants of the water on the ceiling are because of a leak in the roof. You've replaced the roof, but you have not had an opportunity, or you didn't have a way to get to that ceiling. Maybe it's a 2-story ceiling. You have not had an opportunity to get a painter up there to paint it because it's so far up and it's a pain in the butt and whatever. We can explain that in the property disclosure and say, yes, we had some water come through 5 years ago. It's dry. We have a new roof, and all is well. That we've had no problem since. That's perfect. That's a great way to explain it. It's also important for you to keep some notes. As you live in your home, you want to make sure that you're keeping notes on issues that you've had, how you've had them fixed, how you've had those issues fixed, and how much did it cost. If you got a new $10,000 or $12,000 roof 5 years ago, that's a selling point. That's something that I need to know when I sell your home. If you had water in the lower level because a sump pump failed, now's the time. I'm going to tell you, and I'll probably repeat this many, many times over the course of the last few years that you've been listening to me. If your sump pump fails, it's going to fail at the worst possible situation. It's going to fail when we have a ton of rain. So go check your sump pump in your basement right now. Make sure, because it's wet outside, make sure that it kicks on every so often. If you've never heard your sump pump kick on, here's a little tip to see if it's working. You can take a bucket or two of water and dump it in that pit. At some point, the float should rise and the sump pump should kick in. Once it kicks in, it's going to shoot that water away from your foundation out either wherever it's going to go, wherever the pipe goes outside of your home. Hopefully it's farther away from your home than it is, so that it's not going to leak back into your foundation and potentially into your home. So now's an awesome time to go ahead, check your sump pump, and make sure that it's working. It's going to get cold again. We know this because it's Cincinnati and it's winter. So 2 things. Make notes when you are doing any repairs to your home, make some notes, hide them away somewhere, and then when I come to see you, I want to see those notes. I need that information. And the second thing is, check your sump pump. Check it often, check it every 3 or 4 months, once a quarter, make sure it's working. And if it's not, you probably want to call a plumber, especially right now, because the plumbers are going to be busy. We've had a lot of rain. My name is Michelle Sloan, and you're listening to the Sloan Sells Homes Open House right here on 55 KRC. We're talking about some winter home maintenance basics. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you could join me again today. So we're talking about the home winter maintenance basics. So we've had a real cold spell for a few weeks. It was super cold and everybody was miserable and thinking that we would like to see some sunshine. Now it's a little bit warmer, but really wet, and we still don't see any sunshine. So you can't win, can we? So that's just the way it is. Now, if you noticed over those cold days, the coldest days, maybe you felt a draft coming in from somewhere. Maybe you felt a draft coming from your windows, or maybe underneath your front door, or maybe a patio door. Something wasn't sealed all the way properly. Now that it's warmer, in the 50s, let's just say 50s, there's an opportunity for you to seal up those cracks, to try to avoid that cold air from getting inside when we have another cold snap. Now, with the rain, there's probably not a lot you're going to be able to do right now on the outside of your home, but let's think about what can we do on the inside of your home. You do want to be really careful because you don't want to go ahead and completely seal it up your windows so that they won't open. That's a bad idea. I've seen that happen. I've seen some people when they are painting their windowsills and stuff, and the trim around their windows, they will actually paint them shut. Not a great idea. You want to make sure that your windows are functioning. But there are definitely things that you can do to keep the cold out. And now's a good idea. If you see some areas of your home when it was super duper cold, there was a lot of cold air coming in, let's find out why. Maybe it's something as simple as the window is not closed all the way and locked tight. And sometimes you need a little bit of strength to do that. I was helping one of my clients recently, and she said, "Oh, it's always so cold around that window." And I went over to the window and I realized the window was cracked. And I'm like, well, no wonder there's cold air blowing in here, is because the window wasn't secured. I said, "Did you realize that this wasn't locked?" And of course she didn't know that. So we lifted the blind and we closed the window. I had to push up on the window, the upper window, and push down on the lower window, and then I was able to lock it. So good news, that's perfect. So you want to make sure that all of your windows are secure, all of your doors are secure. When you close your door, you don't want to be able to see any daylight pushing through that door. If you do, then there's definitely some things that you can do. If you can't do it, we'll find a handyman that can help you. You know, maybe it's just a little bit of weather stripping along the door or on the bottom of the door. And also your garage door. That's a location in your home where a lot of cold air can come in. And so for me, above the garage in my house is my primary bedroom, the bedroom where I sleep. And years and years ago, I realized that our bedroom was so cold during the winter. So since then, we have insulated. We've added insulation above the garage. That has helped tremendously. Plus, it's like dampened. If I'm sleeping and Scott comes home late or something, when the garage door opens, I don't hear it as much. So to me, that's great because I don't want to be bothered when I'm sleeping. So, and if your garage door is cracked just a little bit because you don't have the proper weather stripping along the bottom of it, that's another way that a lot of cold air can get in. And you want to go ahead and make sure that that's sealed. And it's not a very expensive fix, but it's one that could help save you lots of dollars when it comes to your energy bill. So that's another great idea to help you. Winter basics, keeping you warm this winter.